The brain has 4 cavities that house cerebral spinal fluid, and they are 2 lateral ventricles, a third ventricle, and a fourth ventricle. The lateral ventricles reside immediately inferior to the corpus callosum. They are C-shaped, so we don't really get or grasp that in this image right here. They're never referred to as ventricles 1 or 2, merely lateral ventricles. That is plural. There are 2 lateral ventricles, 1 in each hemisphere, separated by a thin membrane known as the septum pellucidum. The third ventricle resides right in the middle of the diencephalon within the region of the thalamus. And the fourth ventricle lies posterior to the pons, anterior to the cerebellum. Connecting the third ventricle to the fourth ventricle is the cerebral aqueduct. Connecting the fourth ventricle to the spinal cord is the central canal, which proceeds inferiorly down the middle of the spinal cord. Connecting the lateral ventricles to the third ventricle is the interventricular foramen, also known as the foramen of Monro. If we look at this image right here, we get a better grasp of the lateral ventricles. This is the third ventricle. This is the foramen of Monro. Fourth ventricle, cerebral aqueduct connecting the third ventricle to the fourth ventricle, and then leaving the fourth ventricle is the central canal. The function of the ventricles is to house cerebral spinal fluid, which is produced by a collection of ependymal cells known as the choroid plexus. Cerebral spinal fluid provides buoyancy to the brain, it provides protection to the brain, and it helps rid the brain of toxins and maintain the chemical stability of the brain.